The problem with saying that we're going to go live is it implies that we weren't when we started.
Speak for yourself. I'm still
It
not
says
sure.
we're live.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
I'm still not sure that's the truth.
Because I never hear that part.
Miracles of modern pharmacology aside, if you'd like to keep...
We're actually at the perfect level today, but tomorrow we might need either AC or heat. It's Texas.
At 6 o'clock this morning, I needed a heater. Right now, I need the air conditioner. Send money. If you need coffee, and who doesn't, it keeps people unshankulated. King Harv's Imperial Coffees at www.kingharv.com.
And despite what Kermit says, it is not morning, either here or where Kermit is.
I'm the one on the good dope, not you. Jim looks a lot less fuzzy today and prettier. Among the Leaves Tees, tinyurl.com/Among the Leaves Tees for all your snarky t-shirt needs. Both King Harv's and Among the Leaves are friends of ours. Please, if you order from them, let them know you heard it from us.
So today, as you can see, it is Ian, myself, and in the Peanut Gallery we have Wally Waltner, who is a friend and a Raconteur Press author.
Mhm.
And yes, and a games wizard.
Oh,
I almost talked myself into playing that abduction game you taught me,
Mhm.
except for the fact that we never played games, so I would be playing by myself.
I need to fire up my old. I have a AD&D second edition set in Victorian London.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Oh, it's apparently it was a lot of fun. A little more Call of Cthulhu-esque than most AD&D, and I replaced the guns with wands of magic missiles. So you had Victorian ladies and gentlemen running around with small swords and gun-shaped wands of magic missiles, and everybody had on trains and magic trains and airships. Apparently, everybody had a good time.
Once we're down here, we will get a monthly game. We'll host a monthly game night of some form or
We
fashion.
have about a tenth of my books up there,
Okay.
and I've got a box full of dice around here somewhere.
I
And
think you
I
were
was
sitting
busy.
with your back to the game shelf when you were at my house the other night. So
I have in really good condition because I never got to play it. The box set for Spelljammer for AD&D Second.
I tried Spelljammer; it never did anything for me. Spelljammer. The ones we loved were AD&D Second. Marvel had a game out that had a wonderful matrix system that was absolutely great for fighting. And then
Kermit, gas lamp. You are correct, not gaslight.
and then Shadowrun. And that's
Speaking of Gaslamp, I have the source book for Girl Genius that Steve Jackson put out.
oh really?
Oh,
Yeah.
fun. It sounds a little bit like the Lord Darcy books.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it tended to go a little more Call of Cthulhu-esque, and it was steampunk before we knew there was such thing as steampunk, except we used joule power. So you had these robot horses pulling carriages that were powered by gems.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, it's one of the things that I have done very little of. I used to say never, but I have now done a little bit of RPG at conventions, a few hours worth. But I have done a whole lot of very oddball board games and card games, and so
Abduction kind of falls into that.
well, abduction falls into that. Like my kid's favorite game for a long time was Killer Bunnies, and all the different expansion decks that you can get for that.
is that a thing like Munchkin?
I own Munchkin and I have never played it.
Rita, you need to play Munchkin with Rita. She, woo, come on, stab your buddy in the back. That little thing.
Well, Killer Bunnies, the point is to kill off all the other bunnies. I mean, and my kids loved it because you have weapons ranging from nuclear warheads to the gelatinous lime jello cube.
Rita can do things with the knee pads of persuasion card and Munchkin that's just not right.
Oh boy, yeah, that just doesn't sound right.
We have I'm gonna bring the big box to FenCon.
I'm in the way, aren't I?
No, you're not.
Oh, I don't know what he's rummaging for back there.
The Munchkin collection looks pretty solid.
James,
You're not missing anything, are you?
James, you were asking if I don't have a set of emergency dice
These
I
are
take with
my
you in case the
emergency
D&D
dice.
suddenly breaks out. I do have a set of emergency dice, even though I have never played D&D. I'm not much of a geek.
Chesix. This is my emergency set of dice that usually goes in my suitcase. I mean, all of these bags are
Dice. Because shiny clack clack math rocks.
Math
I
rocks.
mean,
This is the
oh.
Chesix pound of dice. If you are a beginning D&D dungeon master, just buy the pound of dice. And these are squirrely dice. These are not. There's like
Are those the loaded ones?
no D5s and D9s and.
Okay.
Kermit says
Strange
you are being
Strange
attacked
shapes.
by a gelatinous dessert, complete with fruit pieces in suspension. Roll for initiative against the fruitcake.
Seriously. I'm high as a kite, and that's not.
Fruitcake having a high damage seems reasonable to me. Although I am one of those rare people that will eat fruitcake.
I don't mind fruitcake. Some fruitcake's fantastic. Other fruitcake is inedible.
I occasionally make fruitcake, but not the kind that most people associate with holiday fruitcake. The very old-fashioned kind before the candied gelatinous bits were a thing.
New Thaco. For those of you who don't know, Johnny O asked, how do I work with this new Thaco thing? Thaco is from the 80s or maybe 90s.
Yeah.
And it's
armor
class 0.
Oh.
It's to hit armor class 0, Thacos. And it's just a number. And if you can do math in your head, you can figure out what you need, what number the poor about to be dead player has to roll for whatever attack he's making.
Nancy says fruitcake should not be gelatinous. We agree, Nancy. With booze or without, it really depends on who I'm feeding it to.
Very few things should be gelatinous. God's honest truth.
I mean, if you
just
put
gonna
enough
throw that
booze
out
on
there.
it, it might go gelatinous.
It does for a fact. And probably should not be consumed.
I mean, if it's got enough booze on it, it's preserved. So,
as someone who lived in Minnesota for long enough, I was exposed to lutefisk. Talking about gelatinous things. There's only one thing worse than lutefisk. It is lutefisk served in a college cafeteria. I went to St. Olaf College.
oh. So I actually like pickled herring, and pickled herring with ginger, if you can ever get it, is wonderful. But I am weird that way. So, but my great grandmother
more than that.
My great grandma Lily lived in Minnesota her whole life, in Anoka.
Okay.
Well, not her whole life. Sorry, she came to the United States in 1900. Had been born in Norway in 1893. So yes, and then once she was in Minnesota, she never left again, except for traveling.
It was fascinating. I think I may be the only. Again, so high school in South Dakota, we actually read in school Giants in the Earth as a school assignment, which is remarkably depressing when you're from the upper Midwest. But Ole Rolvam was one of the founders of St. Olaf College, and the college library is named after him.
You kind of got to read his book.
Yeah.
Kind of required. It's polite.
Well, it's green jello carrot salad for the ooze. Probably. Kippers are really good too. Smoked kippers.
I love a smoked kipper.
Yes. Jello was a lot scarier in the 40s to the 70s.
They were actually using animal.
Well, no, they still. I mean, if you go back into the Victorian era, calf's foot jelly being prime delicacy.
Any recipe with the word aspic in the title is a war crime.
So I had a conversation at Thanksgiving with someone who was talking about the fact that he didn't want to take the turkey carcass to make stock out of, because he had made stock at one point and it came out the consistency of ballistics gel.
damn good stock.
Which is exactly.
Damn
I'm
good
like,
stock.
if you have stock that wobbles when it's room temperature or been put in the fridge, it is the good stuff. You have boiled
Now,
all that.
If it
Take
wobbles,
6 square inches of.
if it wobbles at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, there's an issue.
Yeah.
But no, good. The best beef stock that you can get comes in a cardboard cube, rectangle cube, and you have to, and it's when you unpeel it, there it is. It's a little brown tower. It's the best stock you can get.
Yes, because what you're doing is you're breaking down all those connective tissues and the collagen and stuff. Purified, that is what became Jello. Very purified. But if you do your stock right, it is lovely. If it's jellied when it's cold, you just don't want it jellied at room temperature.
You want it jellied at boiling temperature. I've had some jelly that was jellied at room temperature. It's damn good stock. The stuff in the cardboard box I'm talking about, looks like a milk carton, only it's full.
Yeah, it has been boiled way down.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of water in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is the good stuff. But that's the whole point of stock is you're adding flavor, but also all that lovely protein to your food. So yeah, I mean, I get the whole Jello thing. My husband's reaction to Jello with anything in it is visceral, and I get that because I know what era he grew up in, and I have been to more than one church potluck, and I'm looking at Wally because I know he knows that were mysterious things in Jello.
Jello, Cool Whip, and stuff. Every church dinner I ever went to.
And poor Johnny is trying to eat mom's beef stew over there. Sorry, Johnny. Maybe we should talk about something that isn't food.
Why?
Because we can talk about the new Rack and Troll Press music video.
Videos, apparently.
Which is slightly slightly deranged.
As one might expect.
I was going to say, in other words, par for the course.
Yeah, as one might expect.
So I have figured out how to generate music using, as Sarah Hoyt calls them, a clanker, which always makes me think of the lovely steampunk robots with the glowing eyes. And anyhow, but Mike Burke, Spearman Burke, is a poet, warrior poet with heavy emphasis on the warrior part.
And a swing and a miss occasionally on the poet part.
Anyone who can deploy poetry as a weapon deserves the title.
Yes, he does indeed deploy poetry as a weapon. Okay, now we're going to actually hear.
Spaceships with kittens, bright steampunk airships with all the brass fixings, dames packing pistols with full magazines. These are a few of our favorite things: space cowboy ponies and mercenaries, magic concoctions and deals with fairies.
Johnny, when you see the squirrels with the glow sticks, then it's time.
These are a few of our favorite things: mechas and robots and outer space clashes, hard-boiled ladies batting eyelashes, rockets with lasers loaded on their wings. These are a few of our favorite things.
Turn the volume down.
When all the crap starts.
Two Felicitas, rest in peace, earbud users. Sorry, guys. So I have been doing music for Mike's poetry, and obviously, if you go and you look at the lyrics for that, which are up on our Substack, there's a section in there when the dog farts, and I'm like, that is how you could tell that poem was written by Mike.
Among other things. Bit of warning next time.
Sorry. So I've been setting Mike's poetry to music for his Christmas apocalypse. I can't pronounce that word on his Substack. So that's been hilarious. And I did this. I made this up as a video with book covers. So yeah. I'm sure you will be seeing this all over the social medias very soon.
I hope so. It's got this wonderful two intercut scenes with squirrels dancing with glow sticks. Oons, oons, oons.
I figured it was appropriate, and there
It's
was
very
also
appropriate.
there were a couple of pieces in there that weren't really suitable for putting a book cover in where the dog farts. I'm like, which cover do I put there? So I just threw in the little scene with the squirrels.
And that's an in joke that at least some people will never get.
Anybody that's listening to this will get it.
Yeah, we got what, 19 people listening on the regular?
However many of the, I mean, we only have 8 likes, so I don't know right now.
I don't even know why we bother.
So we're entirely off the rails today.
Rails?
You never started.
Rails?
Jim
Got
will
rails.
often come in with pre-prepared rants.
I've got a rant, but it went away.
Oh, sorry.
Mike sent me something designed to spin me up, and of course it did, but then I took a pill. And I'm not nearly spun up anymore.
There's nothing wrong with being mellow and happy and relaxed. And listening to enough of that particular little song will do that for you.
Apparently, it is that time of the century again that various know-nothings have decided we must get rid of the Marine Corps, which is what Mike sent.
I'm sure that spun Mike up. I mean,
I'm sure it did.
Amongst others.
26 years of his life in that service, yes.
Yeah, and it happens
Justifiably so.
about every 20 years. Some numbnuts comes up with this grand idea to fold the Marine Corps into the Army and save X amount of dollars. It'll never work. And one of the reasons why it'll never work boils down to the fact that the Marine Corps at the organizational level has air-to-ground close air support. The Army doesn't get close air support unless they ask the Air Force nicely. Air Force doesn't like close air support. Air Force is a bunch of fighter jocks. So the Marine Corps have close air support on call that like the job, are good at the job, and aren't trying to go be Top Gun. Until the Army has its own close air support branch at the battalion brigade level, you can't get rid of the Marines, because Air Force doesn't like to play in the mud with the Army, and that's for the modern battlefield is essential. And for that and many other reasons, the other reason being that I consider the Marine Corps on par with the Ranger Bats.
Kermit points out the Army doesn't like to deploy from ships either.
No, they don't, and there's a reason for that. We like to be able to walk home if there's a problem. Marines will be here and try to get rid of them. Yes, you can get rid of them. You're going to open up a whole bunch more problems.
You're going to have to bring them back again.
And then you wind up bringing they
And
do
then
the
you
same.
have zombie Marines.
They do the same thing with scout snipers. About every 15, 20 years, they get rid of the scout snipers to save money. And next thing you know, they're scrambling to restart the scout sniper program. Idiots. Just idiots.
Tuvala asks, Ian, what self-defense tools do you recommend for young ladies going to college soon? I've met the young lady in question. She is not a small young lady.
In what state would be my first question? How old would be my second question? Pepper spray is always good. And despite what the internet will tell you, pepper spray is legal in every state and the District of Columbia. Yes, it is. I've double checked. You can carry pepper spray. There are limits on the size of the canister. There are limits on the percentage of happy spice in your pepper spray, but pepper spray is legal in all 50 states of the District of Columbia. I would also consider a Comtex Stinger if that won't get her in trouble.
I was about to say, you're wearing an option.
The third option would be go to, I call them hair stabbies.
Airborne defense.
Airborne defenses.
Airborne defenses.
And
get a stabby.
Bjorn Blade Works. And I don't know if he's currently making them, but he may still have some stock. And if not Tuvula, you know how to get in touch with me and I'll send her a set.
My understanding is it's just his web host was giving him problems similar to what Ian was going through.
Probably the same bunch of nuts.
It could be. I know he's also had some physical stuff he's been dealing with. So
just make sure that whatever station she's going to doesn't classify Contact Stinger as brass knuckles. Texas, if she's coming to Texas, it's not an issue.
Jedi Raptor, one of those stingers delivered to the ne'er-do-wells hoo-ha region is effective, per this dude I read on the internet.
Getting punched in the gooch by a country girl with some technique. What I never write, I'm slightly stoned enough, is about 6 weeks after that particular event occurred. Remembering it's just prior to Christmas, so this would be like the last day of the sheriff's office was actually had anybody from admin in there before Christmas break. I'm in my office all by my lonesome because all of my little bug snipes have piffled off. And there's this knock on the door. I look up and there's our local friendly Texas Ranger. And I say, hello. And he says, Ian, need to talk to you. That's nothing good. So I said, okay, sure. Grab some coffee. What's on your mind? He said, well, I've got this issue. And I said, that's really not good. He said, there was an incident at Walmart on Lawrence Road about 6 weeks ago. And I went, shit. Quietly, you understand? He said, young gentleman from up north, from a large city on one of the Great Lakes, had been attending our fair local liberal arts college and gotten a little possessive about a young lady.
This explains so much.
Yeah, we got very possessive and wound up getting. Well, he said, we found him unconscious in the Walmart parking lot, and so I went and pulled the video, and I talked to about 12 people that were witnesses, and every one of them told me that a small, tall, blonde-haired brunette of Mexican-Irish descent was in the neighborhood, and then, quote, his testicles exploded and he passed out. So I'm watching this, and I noticed that there's this gentleman who was watching, walks over, picks him up by the upper lip, drags him to the one of those little concrete and grass, and drops him, and then wanders off. And I say to myself, that gentleman has a very unique hat. And I looked at my Stetson sitting on the hat rack and went, shit. So you want to tell me what went on? I said, no. He said, you might want to get it. In North Texas, their silver bellies are black. The hats are either silver belly color or black color with a cattleman crease. They're not pecan colored with a pinch front. So you might want to get a more widespread hat before you go dragging assault victims out of the way. Shit.
And I look over and I look at our hats next to each other. And it's like, oh yeah,
that's right. Now we have a black hat and a pale hat over there.
What? I was going in Walmart, and I don't like Walmart. So I was standing by my truck at the time, taking deep breaths before I went in there. And I noticed this, what turned out to be a ranch girl, walking down the center of the driving lane in the parking lot, which is a little weird. Most people walk closer to the bumpers or in between the fronts. And the second thing was odd was she had her right hand elbow deep in her purse, which this is weird. So when one night stand wannabe boyfriend jumped out between two cars and grabbed her, screaming something that rhymed with bucking more, and spun around, she yanked that stinger out and punched him 3 times right in the gooch. And I'm here to tell you, a country girl with some training and a contact stinger will turn your lights out, apparently. And to quote apparently about 12 witnesses, then his nuts just exploded and he passed out.
Oh. So up in the comments a bit, somebody was saying something about, I believe, handguns, maybe legal in state but banned on campus. If you're if you're going to be on a college campus, particularly a liberal arts campus, assume that whether or not it's legal, they will be highly frowned on.
At Midwestern, Abbott signed a bill making campus carry legal. There is a caveat in that bill, is that you could put certain buildings off limits for whatever reason. So what MSU did was they bought a whole bunch of those plastic sandwich boards. They stuck the 30-06 and 30-07 signs on them, and they ran around putting them in front of all of the doors. And when everybody from the state would show up to, well, what the hell, they would run around grabbing up sandwich boards and sticking them in the back of the golf cart. Yeah. Rita carried a lot of hair stabbies when she was teaching there. And I showed up one time because my little lady is teaching the English department. And I showed up with a Wichita County Sheriff's Office shirt, a badge, a Glock 19 in a waist holster, and a set of handcuffs. And next thing I know, one of my kids that I had trained that had gotten hired on MSU Police Department was, you got any results of a man with a gun? Oh, one of the professors had called in me as a man with a gun.
You were.
No shit. No shit.
No lie detected.
Nope.
No, it's having gone back to college as a what do they call those? A non-traditional student, because heaven forbid we say mature student. I did not carry on campus because I didn't want to deal with the hassle.
Yeah.
I had other ways and means. But honestly, I can see both sides of not wanting college students to have said weaponry,
Also,
because having known some college students,
tempers and poor decision making.
Poor decision making is key.
But then again, you've got more and more non-traditional college kids that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s,
Right.
like Rita's.
Who are also
50s.
capable of poor decision making, but that's about neither.
And quite honestly, if you're in the College of Engineering, probably not a problem.
Right.
If you're in English or philosophy, apparently a bit of a problem.
Well, and that's the thing, is what I was doing. I was mostly STEM, but also very foraying over into the arts on a regular basis. But we had two campuses. We had satellite campuses. Well, okay, there was more than two. There were satellite campuses, which is where you would find mostly the non-traditional students, and the main campus where you had all the dorm kids. And I can see why there would be issues with allowing carry on the main campus.
Immature, alcohol, macho, bad comment. Yes.
Yeah.
However, if you look at the number of college girls winding up dead.
And well, that's what I was going to say, which is I can see on one hand why it's a bad idea, but I can also see why giving young women a way to defend themselves.
When somebody from Chicago gets all fucking possessive.
And
granted, she solved the problem.
And if you look at the crime stats, college-age girls are it's an incredible high rate of predation on, because
most of them are dumb.
Well, they're young, they're away from home, they've just had limits removed from the first time. One of the few times I lost my poo in a classroom. We were talking before a class, and I was the oldest student by far. I think I was older than our professor, who was a lovely young lady. This was Latin literature in the Americas, this class. And there were some girls sitting at one of the tables and talking, and they had been out partying the weekend before, and they had gone to, there was an away game, or no, there was a home game, and the away team had come in. It was at a hotel, so a whole bunch of them gathered at the hotel, and they left one of their girlfriends, in this hotel with the hockey team.
The entire team.
And I lost my poo because they were like, she didn't want to come with us, and everybody had been drinking, and we really wanted to go back to the dorm, and I'm like, you do not leave her there. How was she going to get home? How did you know she was going to be safe? You did not.
I have a long-standing rant. about how for boy children, about 16, the puberty gnome runs up and smacks them between the running lights with a club and takes away about 50% of their available IQ points for about the next 40 years. I'm here to tell you, the young ladies don't fare any better. It's just not quite as noticeable, but they're every bit as dumb. Young ladies, well,
I
during
can attest to this.
during spring break, I saw a van. The only thing this van didn't have was free candy spray painted on the side.
And in an ironic way, that might have been even more attractive. Who knows?
Pull up, and all of these high school or young college boys in bathing suits bail out. When I say all, they're like 6 or 8 young men. And one young lady headed down to the Gulf Coast. We're 800 miles from the Gulf Coast. They're headed down there for sun, fun, not a lot of clothes and booze. Cop senses. Like,
Activate.
young miss, does your father know? Can you find some other way to disappoint your old dad?
And it's, I mean, I know this because I will occasionally say it in just this way. When I was 19, I lost my mind, met a guy and got married. The marriage actually happened a year later, but it was still definitely a mental disorder because I look back now and I go, what was I thinking? There were more red flags than a race day. But so, I mean, you get to a certain point and the puberty gnome whacks you in the head with a stick.
I'm going to get out. I swear to God, next year, I'm going to go by one of these resale places and buy a stack of sheets, bed sheets. And then next prom season that Rita and I are out eating somewhere, I'm going to have a stack of sheets because the young ladies apparently shop at Strippers R Us for prom season. And I just staple gun and a sheet.
3 Band-Aids does not constitute a costume.
No.
I've been at some of those cons too.
I worked Vice in Amarillo. I had to do my time in the exotic bar, the titty club circuit, going in and checking every night. Some of those strippers wouldn't wear what these girls are wearing to prom. Not enough cloth there for a stripper.
Have I told you the story about the hookers in Austin?
No.
So Dorothy Grant and I had gone down, stayed the night with a friend, and got a late start getting out, and realized as we're getting lost in Austin that we were starving. So we decided we'll stop at the next place. There's a Mexican joint. We pull in. It's about 2:00 in the afternoon. We walk into the little Mexican place and sit down and realize the only other people in the little restaurant were a pair of hookers. You could tell by looking at what they were wearing. And I figured that they were killing time before it was time to go out and start work because it was still too early.
Start their shift.
And also I figured that if they were in there, that was probably good food. And I was right. It was good
cheap.
food.
Inexpensive, good.
It was cheap. It was good. They had Mexican Cokes. It was nice. And yeah, no, you could tell. They were just sitting in the back corner chit-chatting with each other and having a gay old time, but they were definitely wearing their work outfits.
There was a strip club, titty bar in Amarillo, and the old boy that ran it was a 6'8" Lebanese transvestite. I don't know. He wore women's sequin dresses all the time, and he was 6'8" before he put on the platform pumps.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh shit. I used to have to go in. We made you had to go by every crystal pistol. We went with the TAC team, just saying. But we had to go in and check. It's vice, not my idea of a fun time. But this old boy would hire tech girls from Lubbock, and he had rules. For every turn dancing, you had to do 2 turns studying, that sort of thing. And in between he had. Does anybody remember the Nerf basketballs? They might have been soccer balls. He had cut one in half, and the cleavage sticking out was orange and blue. And he had a sawed-off pool cue lovingly tucked between. And half the time when there was an issue, by the time we showed up and the squad car showed up, the issue had been taken care of. Pool cue is just.
This is where you.
He already had reach. What did he need the cheat?
Yeah, right.
This is where you got the glitter in your gun, isn't it?
Oh no. That was. Again, I was still on Vice, but I did not realize at the time that Amarillo was a. This was early days of the internet. This would be 96, 97, 98. And Amarillo was a. This is going to sound weird. Okay, just trust me on this one. Amarillo was a source of internet porn. A lot of it was being filmed there. Yeah, I know, right? Wally's looking really puzzled. Well,
as someone who was there at the time, that is not the place I would have guessed.
No, right? Right.
As in the internet, not in Amarillo.
So we're on the device task force, and we get we are told that this one warehouse on the east side of Amarillo, there's a server or a computer that's got kitty porn on it. I don't want to give us. So we stack up to go. We're going to go get this guy. Amarillo was very good about that sort of thing. And we had, honest to God, swear to God, and this is what the inside of this empty warehouse looks like. And the old boy is in an old control room mounted up a flight of stairs on the far wall. There's a control room about halfway up that would have overlooked the warehouse floor. And he's got a bed and a little kitchenette, and that's where the tower was. I don't know how I was looking for. I was the youngest and the quickest. So my job, they were going to take the door, and my job was to tear ass across the warehouse floor, up the stairs, and start pulling. If it was a cable plugged to the wall, I was unplugging it. This was 97-ish. I had no idea what a computer was. I knew that they were, but
You unplugged the refrigerator, didn't you?
Well, yes, but that's neither here nor there. But I unplugged everything. I don't know what the hell I was looking for. Anyway, so, all right, briefing. Large, open, empty warehouse, run across, upstairs, take door, unplug, everything. So the RAM guy opens the door. I got tear ass inside. I'm in the middle of a bedroom, a fluffy bedroom. Fluffy bedroom, and there's a heart-shaped bed with sheets, and some guy looking at me really, really weird, and the hell, and this woman yells something about "How dare you!" and snaps a bullwhip at me. Well, I have issues with that.
The viewers might not.
So I got a hold of her arm, and I was really heavy as you at the time, and I was doing this lovely sandbag throw or rice bag throw. She was about to go halfway into orbit. Leather bustier, panties, and boots notwithstanding. But when I pivoted to toss her, my legs got caught up in either a sheet or the bowl or something. And I went, whoa! And I've got 160 pounds of what the hell ever across my shoulders, and I hit the wall. I figured I'd bounce off. I didn't. I went through the wall. Apparently, on the far side of the wall was a shelf that was covered in stripper glitter. Jars and jars of edible and non-edible glitter and sequins. I went through, there's glitter. As John refers to as craft herpes coming down. I hit the ground. Lady hits the ground. She looks at me and goes, "What the fuck?" I get a hold of her, and she goes through the far wall. Hits the cameraman on the way by. Cleans him right up. I look around. I go up the staircase to unplug everything, including, as Wally pointed out, the fridge. The fridge, the lights. I pulled everything that was plugged into the wall. Anyway, get done, walk out, and the dominatrix is in handcuffs, and she's cussing me up one side, down the other. And it's like, what the hell? So I head home, and apparently when I threw her, I went for she was upside down and facing forward when she hit the cameraman. So about a week later, and the task force was not at Amarillo Police Department. It was in a strip shopping center. And shopping center, yes.
There's irony here.
Yes. So you would go in, and there was this little girl that was the secretary, and then past her, and we're in the back, and I've got an office. There's about 20 of us with offices in there. I heard her yell, "Hey, Mac." I said, "What?" He said, you got a visitor." "What?" She's giggling. "You've got a visitor." What the hell? I look out there, and there's this very tall woman in a poodle skirt. An actual honest to God, 1950s poodle skirt. And the 1950s everything. Holding a plate of cookies. And I'm thinking, where the hell do I... It's like, wait, shit! Apparently, she'd found... And I went out the back door for 6 weeks because she kept waiting. Cookies, cakes. And she'd finally come in. "This is for the redhead." And Dom, that's bad. What the hell was her? Dominique? Anyway, Dominique at the front, who was our front desk clerk, would giggle and say, "Okay."
So the secretary was named
Dominique.
Minatrix.
And there was a Dominique. Yes, it was.
Like I said, it's layers upon layers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's my life. There are always layers upon layers of, holy shit, that really happened? Yes.
He said the bedroom was fluffy layers.
Yep. No, I did not get a date. Anyway. No. People that comfortable with bullwhips do not. No. Besides, I knew where she worked. So anyway, about 10, 15 years later, I am having problems with I was carrying a Ruger SP101 3-inch 357 Stubby at the time. Because half the time I was plainclothes. So I had a Stubby. I was starting to have problems with it. The trigger pull on a Ruger, never really that good, but it turned into something akin to dragging an anchor chain to a box of rocks. So Gunsmith Joe said, "Hey, I need to work on some Rugers. What you got?" I said, "I've got a SP101, very famous one. I'm starting to have trigger problems with it." He said, "Okay, send it." So I sent it to him, and I get his text, "Got your Ruger. Cool." An hour later, "Why the hell is there stripper glitter in your Ruger?" I said, he said, "Never mind, don't want to know." Ping, text, "There's a sequin in here." And I said, "Well," he said, "Ping, don't want to know." He sent back, "Replace your front sight. Why is there goo under your front sight?" And the goo was in the goo under your front sight. I said, "Do you really?" He said, "Ping, no, I don't."
Did he know you worked twice?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. Apparently they've been filming adult entertainment there for a while. And the dressing room, apparently glitter is a big thing in some form. And I took out, according to the lawsuit afterwards, $1,500 in $1997 worth of stripper glitter sequins.
Yeah, I can believe it. When in a previous life,
they actually tried to sue the Amarillo Police Department.
Oh yeah.
Well, it sounds like you did quite a bit of damage.
I did. I wrecked their dressing room.
I want to say he came in like a wrecking ball, but that's probably not.
Oh, come on. Oh, no. See, that's the kind of thing that we need a Suno video for.
We had to. When I left, they were loading a counterman in an ambulance for spraining something. Apparently, catching 160 pounds of bimbette upside down and backwards at orbital velocity will put you in the hospital in the emergency room.
The leather burns alone were probably.
Yeah, the leather burns probably pretty bad.
So I used to use cosmetic grade glitter because I did face painting mostly, a little bit of body painting. Skin is skin, and it makes a great canvas. But I bought cosmetic grade glitter by the ounce, and it was not cheap. And this was in the later 2000s. And I used to have to fill. I used little puffer bottles so that I could apply it to usually little girls' faces.
Apparently, the edible stuff's even more expensive.
Any of the cosmetic grades edible.
Out of
because
curiosity, I
how
read
it's
the
made.
lawsuit, and they had itemized list. It's like, you spent that much on what?
The cosmetic grade stuff can be eaten without any consequence. It's just going to go right through. I have edible. I have edible glitter at home, which is actually made finely powdered mica. That's what I put on birthday cakes when I'm
A
decorating.
sparkly stool just does.
But the stuff gets everywhere, and there is no way to clean it up. And after I was working on redoing my kit and had to refill a bunch of glitter, it always looked like I'd been shooting pixies with a shotgun.
Right? I'm here to tell you, when you go through the wall that all of the jars are on, when over 300 pounds of off balance Ian
plus Bimbet
and Bimbet go through the wall, it's dead pixies everywhere. Who had edible glitter on today's bingo card?
We always come back to food somehow.
What'd you do, poor Tinkerbell? You need to ask what she did to Tinkerbell.
Oh, no, it was. I sometimes miss performing and getting to work with crowds of people and kids. Kids are brutal as an audience because they'll be utterly honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I sometimes miss that. I don't actually miss there always being glitter everywhere in everything.
I have to watch the whole second half of this thing later on. Second half.
I mean, that's the nice thing about these is that they hang around on the internet. We might not like it after a while, but
I don't know that I ever told that story in public before.
I've heard parts of it before. That was the extended play version, and I enjoyed it.
Really stoned.
Oh,
the remix.
Yes, I don't have stories that good.
Oh, you do. You just don't know it yet. People, there was Wichita County made the national news, and there's this wonderful video from a car behind a sheriff's car, not ours, going through Wichita County with an inmate sitting on the roof. And we had to respond to go get the inmate off the roof of the patrol car. And people say, Ian, that sort of stuff never happens. State's Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Oh, goodness. Why? Why was there an inmate on the roof?
Because he got out, or he got out of the handcuffs and climbed up on the roof and then didn't know what to do from there.
Well, I mean, this is why he was an inmate, not thinking through second-order consequences.
He got cleaned off the roof fairly, because the I forget which county, because they were traveling through. It wasn't one of ours. They were traveling through going, it was inmate transport going somewhere else. And as soon as he climbed out, the deputy inside cranked it up to 85 and said, yeah, get off if you want to. Started yelling for help. And he didn't slow down until he saw all of the Wichita County Sheriff's Office behind him. And then when he pulled over, the inmate was like, I'm good. Right in a ditch full of stickers.
BK Gibson asks, when exactly are we supposed to leave the glitter phase? Our 13-year-old still goes on craft kicks. Well, since I'm just shy of 50 and I was just using glitter yesterday, probably never.
Jonna calls it craft herpes. And
because you can't get rid of it. If it's the ultra fine stuff, you cannot clean that stuff up.
Apparently, craft herpes are forbidden inside her shop. So, or that happened. Or what happened?
Who knows?
He hadn't planned that far. No, he hadn't. He got out of the handcuffs, which is quite easy to do with a seatbelt. Actually made the inmate show me how to do that. Got out of his, and then climbed out and just didn't know what to do from there. He was bored. Reminds me of the time I used when I had to transport inmates to the bird unit Texas Department of Corrections Bird Unit is for medical inmates with medical issues. They go to the Bird Unit for whatever. If they're geriatric or they've got they're a medical train wreck looking for a place to happen, Bird Unit. I used to have to train
BIRD or
BY
BYRD?
and I'd take them there. So I was taking this one guy, and I felt it was my civilized duty that on the way out of town I would go by McDonald's and I'd get them a Happy Meal. You get them in the right frame of mind. You go into the pen for how long? Here's a Happy Meal. I had this one guy I went by and got myself a #1 combo, got him a Happy Meal. And he was not appreciative. Apparently he was a grown adult and he didn't Happy Meal. Grown adults don't eat Happy Meals. So I took his Happy Meal away from him, took the action figure out of it, threw it in the bin, took the action figure, put it in the screen between me and him, and made it talk smack to him all the way to the Bird Unit. Whoa! Gonna loosen that shock loop. Whoa! Can I drop the shower? Can I drop the soap in the shower?
James, banning glitter from events is why in a number of events I performed with a drop cloth under me. And if you roll it up just right, you don't leave any trace that you've been there. Of course, I can't say anything about what was falling off the kids' faces later, but...
The Bird Unit, I think, had a picture of me because they called the sheriff because I had been mistreating an inmate on the way down, apparently having an action figure talk smack about dropping the soap in the shower is mistreating an inmate. But years prior to that, I'm talking years prior to that, back in the early 90s, I took an inmate to the Bird Unit. And back in the 90s, you had what's called a pen packet, which is all the paperwork required for this inmate to go into the Texas penal system. And you would drive down to the Bird Unit with a packet and you would hand it to the intake officer, and he would check everything to make sure it's good before he would accept the inmate. Well, I had driven from the Panhandle to the Bird Unit, and we had double checked everything, got there, handed in the pen packet. Intake officer, oh, I'm so sorry, we can't accept this. You haven't dotted the I's and crossed the T's. And I went, well, crap. Would you hang on to him while I go get something to eat? Been a long day. And they said, sure, no problem. So I went back to home to get something to eat. So they yelled and screamed, and the sheriff said tough. So he sent me about, I think a year later, he sent me down to the Bird Unit. And they pulled up, they said, oh, it's you, which is never good. And I hand the paper packet, pats it, he said, it's no good. I said, okay. So I handcuffed the inmate to the wire fence and went back. Pretty sure they've got a picture of me at the wall down there in the Bird Unit. Do not let this officer.
Even 10 years or 5 years past retirement, it's probably still there.
Yep.
Oh. It is.
Holy crap.
We have a few minutes left. Probably not long enough for a. Yeah, do not play paperwork games with this officer.
Play paperwork games, get paperwork prizes.
Yes. Yep. Left him handcuffed to the chain link fence and went home.
Oh, Jesse says that the music video is now live on the Tube of Views.
Yay!
So if you guys go looking at the Raconteur Press YouTube channel, you should be able to find a really out there music video, and probably not the last time either.
I gotta hope
because
not.
These are just too much fun, and I like doing
And they're great marketing.
We just want to have fun and publish books
without stripper or people showing up with plates of cookies.
We promise there will never be glitter inside the book, inside a story possibly, but never. You'll never open a Rack Press book and have glitter fall out.
Well, now that you said that,
I know. I was just thinking, I've just doomed us.
Now that you said
Some
that.
fan's going to hand me something to sign, and Tiffany says her last Spurgle story had glitter because it's Spurgle. Of course, there was glitter. Yes. So the next anthology on the roster, speaking of strippers and glitter, it's High Class Muscle. So we went through the pinups as far as the ladies, and now we're on to the beefcake. So there's
plenty of it to go around.
A distinguished looking gentleman on the cover of High Class Muscle.
I don't know if I've seen the cover yet. I know I have, I just can't remember it.
It's basically an older version of Mike in suit, tie, and appropriate weapon.
And brandished.
Yes, being brandished because Pinup Noir cover. We do that. There are no text visible. So here's the thing. In this case, Sarah Clitheroe did the cover. I didn't do the cover art for this one. But if we put a bare-chested male on one of our anthologies, that's a whole different story.
God. Amazon beat.
Well, no, I mean,
Amazon has ruined bare-chested men for the rest of literature.
No, it's not Amazon. It's the authors and the cover designers. And the thing is, it's a very clear signal. It's this kind of book. And if you don't want this kind of book with a bare-chested male on it, don't read this book. It's fantastic as far as marketing goes. It's both anti-marketing and, ooh, I want that marketing.
You're making a promise.
Bare chests and bare chests, two different things. Also possibly the same kind of book.
Given recent trends.
I'm sorry.
Never mind that Bear has a third context that
also
that
the same kind of book. That's a whole other psychological conversation that none of y'all want to hear. So, High Class Muscle, which Sam Robb says the stories in it are actually not what he was expecting. They're much more intense and a little darker than he was expecting when we were talking about that particular book. And then the one that will be coming out after that will be Uncanny Valley. Which is the books and the stories in that one were chosen and curated by our own Rita, who's, in addition to being a lovely woman, has an impish, quirky sense of humor that we adore.
Whimsical.
Yes. So the stories in that, I haven't read them all yet, should be absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to that one too.
And that'll be our 26th antho for the year.
Yep, that wraps it for 25. We will have done 26 anthologies in
2025. Casey, you missed the
you missed the conversation about bare chests on covers,
and bears on covers. And
bears.
You missed the stripper glitter dominatrix story.
I don't even know if I should talk about the next boys book, given that context. Not safe for children. However, there's a weird map in Mr. Glim's skull will be the next boys book, and that's written by Mallory. We have an interestingly international eclectic selection of boys authors. Mallory's based out of Britain.
Yes.
And
you have the whole Commonwealth covered.
We do. We really do.
We have countries covered I'm not allowed to visit.
So the YouTube short name should be a few of our favorite things, or it should be on the Raconteur Press YouTube channel. And definitely, please, if you go visit the Rack Press YouTube channel, give it a like and subscribe. And on that note, I think we're probably going to wrap it up.
Hey, Casey just showed up just in time for us to shut off.
Sorry,
it's
Casey.
Nothing personal.
It's not you.
It's not you, it's me.
So,
if you want to hear about me throwing a dominatrix through a wall, well,
listen to it again. One
throwing dominatrix through a cameraman, apparently,
and glitter, and yes, Thursday, Jim will be here.
Jim apparently staggered into the house about 30 minutes ago, so Jim will be here Thursday.
He's gotten home safe from his expedition, and it sounds like he had a great time. He got to see grandkids and grand dogs and have a nice holiday visit, which is always wonderful. So,
and I thought I was going to end up missing him altogether, but now I will get to see him.
I may or may not be here Thursday. Tomorrow, I probably will be. I'm I'm informed that what's happening to me tomorrow is not a big deal. So I will probably be here Thursday, but if I'm not, I'll be fine.
If he's not, I will probably be here pinch hitting from him instead of pinch hitting for Jim like I am today. So normally I'm not here on Thursdays. But yeah, Jesse Barrett says the short video is called A Few of Our Favorite Things. And yes, Raptor, that was what we were talking about. So you're definitely going to have to go back and listen again. All right, folks. Be good. Enjoy the middle of your week, and we will see you again on Thursday.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Ish.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If the world doesn't end.
And the creek don't rise.